Well, hello all, welcome back to Shaving with Peg Leg. I appreciate all my subscribers, new and regular, let's say. I'm not going to call you old, I'm the old guy here. I appreciate y'all being here, thank you. Just doing a head shave, Wednesday evening head shave. My people finally arrived at like 8:15 to pick up what they were supposed to pick up at 2. They did call me around 3:30 to say that they were going to be later than they thought they were going to be. And then they showed up at 8:15. Wish they would have told me they were going to be a lot later, because I would have taken my shower a lot earlier and done this head shave a lot earlier. But we're going to use the 5-bladed monster from Blue Shave Club. They're based out in Oregon or Washington, but you can look them up online, Blue Shave Club. And we're using the Cantu shave butter, shave cream, shave gel, excuse me. Caffeine, hemp seed oil, yay hey, can we smoke this stuff? And willow bark. Well, we'll wrap it in the willow bark and let's give it a light. And it's got caffeine. So, that's what we're shaving with tonight. Oh, that's okay. I'm really not too upset that they were that late, because, see, it's another clear gel. Because I was on eBay sweating. I had 2 things I put bids in on earlier today. That one was a 1913 Gillette single ring in the case with the blade holders, no cracks in the handle. Everything was perfect. The only thing wrong with it was that, alright, back to front is with the grain. The only thing really wrong with it is where the blade sits on the base plate was kind of but I figure a lot of that could be cleaned up. It would still look kind of but it was really the head of it, the cap, the top, the head of it, you know, where it slides on your skin, was beautiful. And I was like, okay, and the blade holders were beautiful. And the box was better than fair, but not great. But it was in good shape. A good buffing on it probably would have helped it a lot. So I'm not gonna say it was bad. It needed to be cleaned up and buffed out, you know. So I put a bid in on that. And when I was bidding on it, I was like, should I go? At the time, the highest bid was $51. I was like, how high do I want to go? How high do I want to go? And I was debating between 60 and 65, and I eventually put in 60 and just let it ride. It's like, okay, if it goes higher than that, I don't want it. And then it started getting close to the time where it was, the auction was going to end, and it started climbing up. It got over my 60, went to 61, and it was like 8 seconds left, and I'm like, oh, damn, I could squeeze in a couple more dollars. So I tried to get it just a $65 bid, and just as I hit submit bid, it went auction ended. It actually ended up selling for $63 plus 11 something for shipping, and then of course I would have had to pay tax. Like, damn it. But the other one had ended earlier, and nobody came close to my bid on that one. Thank you. Because when I bid on that one, the bid was $50. And for that one, since I since I saw it on eBay, I've been researching this one, looking for one like it, possibly cheaper, Etsy, other places. And everybody was more, or they weren't as good, they weren't complete. Some of them, this one's in a metal box. Some of them were in wooden boxes, and the wooden boxes were beat up. Some of them didn't have parts to it. And I was like, no, I want the complete thing in the case, blah, 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 blah. So I put in my bid for $75. I ended up getting it for $67. So, plus $10 shipping, $4.14 for tags, and blah, it's gonna ship probably tomorrow. And that will be the most expensive razor I have bought. But guys, I'm not gonna tell you what it is. When you see it, you'll know it would have been worth the $75 if it went that high. It's absolutely gorgeous. There was one on Etsy like it, similar. It was in the wooden box. The box was beat up. The felt was coming down on the inside of the box. It was missing some parts. And they only wanted $36 for it. And that was yesterday. I saw that one. And I came back to look for that one today just to take a look at it. It's like, I could save some money. I don't get everything I really want, but I could get close, you know? And it was gone. Somebody bought it. Okay, no problem. I really didn't want that one anyway, so not a big deal. Okay, I know you're worried. What, you said there would be history this time. There's going to be history. Today's date in 1901, what happened? Well, lots of things happened. One thing I'm looking for. There was an auto race. Yes, there was. In Brooklyn, New York. The newly established Long Island, let me get the name right. Or didn't I put it down? I thought I did. Yeah. All right. The newly established Long Island Auto Club sponsored a contest to break the 1 minute mile in a car. So somebody to go a mile in less than a minute. And they ran the contest in Brooklyn between 18th Avenue and 22nd Avenue, which was exactly 1 mile. And you had 2 chances to break it. Going to 22nd and then coming back to 18th. You had 2 chances to break the record. You didn't have to do it both times, but you had 2 chances to do it. And only 3 cars entered. Now you can remember, 1901, I forgot this stuff has peppermint in it. Wow, I'm getting minty fresh as I sit here. There wasn't a lot of cars around in 1901, and nobody had broken the 1 minute mile yet. So 3 cars entered. 1 car prevailed. No. 3 men enter, only 1 man exits. No. 3 cars entered. All 3 of them broke the 1 minute mile. All of them came in at under 1 minute. But the one that was the fastest was driven by Henry Fortier, a Frenchman. He did it in 51 4/5 of a second. He went 1 mile in 51 4/5 seconds. Now, I will post a picture, the only picture I could find of Henry Fortier, in his 1906 racer. And I'll put that right here. Okay. That was Henry Fortier. He won in 1901. He won that contest with a stripped down 40 horsepower car. Now there was 3 categories, and you could enter as many cars as you want and as many kind of categories as you wanted, but like I said, only 3 tried, and all of them were gasoline powered as far as I could tell. But the categories were gasoline powered, steam powered, or electric powered. And yes, electric cars were some of the first cars. They're nothing new. Don't let these people tell you that, oh, electric technology is new. It's not. Some of the very first cars were electric. The whole bottom of the car, base plate, the floor pan, the seats were bolted. I mean, it's just like today. We're just stacks of battery. Well, now it's a big, long, flat battery. But back then it was stacks of batteries. And you plugged it in when you got home and recharged it. Just like today. So, what was Mr. Fortier's speed in this 1 mile in under a minute challenge? It was a whopping, now remember, this is a 40 horsepower car, stripped down. 1 minute mile in 51 seconds. I bet he did not have a good 0 to 60 time at all. I bet you could beat his 0 to 60 time on a bicycle. But he averaged roughly he averaged roughly 70.588 miles per hour. That's what he roughly did the mile in. (1901). Not a lot of cars around back then. And a 40 horsepower car, that was a lot of horsepower back then. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but the Bonneville Salt Flats, they have different classes of cars that they race out there all the time. Different categories. There are cars made out of the drop tanks off of World War II fighters. The fighter aircraft. The drop tank, the extra gasoline that they carried in the tank under the belly of the plane. They make cars out of those, and they stick in modified Model T engines. And it's a whole class set up for that. And these engines, they are roughly got these engines roughly did around 20 to 40 horsepower. They were nothing. They're getting these motors now to do like 350 horsepower, and they're running them at like 400 miles an hour. But in 1901 they knew no such thing. And you got to remember, the roads back then, even the course that they took, even though it was 1 mile, was not the smoothest road. It was rocks, pebbles. It was a cobblestone road, part of it was laid down with bricks. It was not smooth. So they were jostling and jiggling all the way down for that whole mile. Alright, now the other 2 competitors in this contest, names were F.P. Keene, K-E-E-N-E, F period P period K-E-E-N-E, Keene, and A.C. period Bostwick, B-O-S-T-W-I-C-K. They also broke the 1 minute mile, but Henry Fortier was the fastest. Oh, excuse me, Fournier, not Fortier, Fournier, F-O-U-R-N-I-E-R. N-I-E-R. Sorry, mispronunciation on my part because I'm stupid. But anyways, Fournier, Henry Fournier, Frenchman. I don't know what the prize was. I don't even know if there was a prize. They were just holding the contest to see if somebody could do it. And they did it. 1901. That's not one of the records we associate with 1901 in our minds, is it? Very interesting. A lot of people today do not give our forefathers enough credit for their accomplishments. They just don't. Everything is so easy for us today. And you know what? People in 50 years are going to look back on us and say, how the hell did they do it without this technology that we have today? But right now, we look back and we're like, the things that they did are just, you just shake your head. You can't believe the stuff that they were able to do back then. 1901, doing 70 miles an hour in a car. Here's a question for you. How good were his frickin' brakes? Where we already heard when I talked about Benz, that his wife Bertha invented the brake pad by when one of her stops. They were just wooden blocks that pressed against the axle. Then she had to stop at one place, and because she couldn't stop going downhill one time, and she asked the guy to nail pieces of shoe leather to soles of shoes, the shoe leather, to the brake blocks so that they would get better traction and grip better so she could slow down and stop. So that was in the late 1880s or early 1890s that she did that. I can't remember the exact dates, but what were the brakes like in 1901? To do 70 miles an hour when you're talking 30 and 40 horsepower cars, and they're doing 15-20 miles an hour, and this guy gets one up to 70. That had to be a hell of a ride. I'll tell you that right now. I'm going to use witch hazel with rose in it. That had to be a hell of a ride. It's a cartridge razor. I don't need that thing up there, the Allen block. Skin bracer. This, every time I don't use this as much as I should, as much as I would like to either, because they put the frickin' price tag right there, and I tried to peel it off and it took half the frickin' label. You idiots! Why would you do that? And that's the reason I don't use this as much as I would like to. I'm really embarrassed by the label. Another restrictor like Aqua Velva, you could drive a semi through it. Ah, good old skin bracer. Good stuff, it really is. If they hadn't butchered the label on me. Alright, Johnson & Johnson baby lotion I always use for my dome. At least most of the time I do. There's a few times I haven't, but pretty much. This is all I use it for too. I'd never use it on my face. I have other balms for that. That one's for my head. I got to keep that skin up there nice and soft, like my brain. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. Just a quickie with a cartridge. Since, you know, they screwed up my shave for today. But I was just going to use the cartridge anyways. That's the one that's in the rotation for this time. There's another cartridge next Wednesday. But on Sunday when I do my head shave, I will use a DE. Not sure which one yet. Hopefully my blades come in by Sunday and we can get into something exotic on the head. Maybe not either. We'll see. The Blue Shave Club does this just as well as a Dollar Shave Club. And both of those are just half a step down or a step down from the Harry's. The Harry's is almost equal to the Twig. Almost. Not quite, but almost equal to the Twig as far as a head shave goes. And if you don't want to spend the $84 on a Twig for a head shave, get the Harry's. It does a hell of a job for a head shaver. Alright, I won't say for face shaver. I've never used any of these cartridges on my face. None of them. I only use them for head shape because I got a big dome. Alright guys, I appreciate you being here. Thanks to all the new subscribers for being here. Don't forget the affiliate link. We're close to 25. When it does hit the 25, I'll get a gift card to the Razor Company, give it to you guys. And don't forget the link to the 4 channels that I watch. They're all under 1,000 subs. Please go give them a sub so that they can reach their 1,000 subscriber goals like everybody's trying to. And I appreciate you being here once again. And with that, I will say enough of the babbling fat guy in the camera. You're in the chair next. Happy shaves out there, guys.